and can also put pressure on government to enforce that which needs to be enforced. Agreed. So that means when the other Nigerians were buying at 200, you were also buying at 200, and some of your members were buying at 500, but you think that wasn't necessary. But please, a point of correction, it is Young Democratic Party, not Young People's Party. He's the national chairman of a party. But let's come back to the studio and hear from the other Labour opinion here, what he thinks. So how is it that Labour did not put pressure on government to enforce the official price?
My own candid opinion, you are absolutely right. But one would have expected in a situation like this for the Labour to come into the gap and do something that will stimulate the response of the government to issues on ground. You are absolutely correct. But I will want to say here, probably what makes the Labour not to have been in that very good position to do that job of a pressure group is expected to do in a situation like that is probably because of the existing division that is there. And it is most unfortunate. We have to be, factual and truthful to ourselves. It's very much unfortunate. If the Labour has been one single body, it would have been more formidable. It would have been quite, more formidable to do so many things. Of course, the Labour, we all agree, just like my colleague here said, the Labour covers the interests of just about 5-7 million workers. But issues that concern the entire Nigerian people is beyond what NLC can, just singly handle. And that is why we are always saying that you don't put the cart before the horse. In this case, it concerns virtually everybody. It wouldn't have been out of place for the Labour that went on strike to have, sought for the cooperation of the civil society. Because it concerns virtually everybody in Nigeria. It goes beyond the scope of just Nigerian workers who are direct members and, of course, allies of the Nigerian Labour Congress. But the truth here is that if there hasn't been division, maybe we would have done that. But as it is now, we're heading towards achieving some sort of reconciliation. Like I have mentioned earlier, we have engaged the government. And we have made it pointedly clear to the government that what you have done is wrong, and they have listened to us. And that brought about the government, coming up with a committee, a mixed technical committee that, has as members representatives of the NLC and representatives of the government.
It's funny that not funny, it's
Curious.
Remarkable, or curious, that the demands of the two opinions within the Labour Congress are basically the same, apart from the minimum wage that is 90,000 and 56,000. That's the only difference. So what some of us are asking is, what gave you guys that idea to wait to give the government 2 more weeks to work out a plan?
You see, when you get into discussion with the government, you don't just decide with fiat against what is popular. When government did what it did by, hiking the price out there and making, Nigerians to begin to feel more pains, we got in touch and we requested that this should be reversed. And in response, the government invited us and we went to meet with the government under the, chairmanship of the secretary to the government of the Federation, Engineer Babachir David Lawal. We started talking. And when we now agreed at a point that, okay, let us form a committee that will have labor representatives as well as the representatives of the government there to discuss these, issues concerning the fixed price of 145 naira, the issue of PPPRA not having a board, the issue of how we are going to, look at how the 500 billion naira provided for in the 2016 budget for social investment will be properly managed and transparently, implemented. And government agreed with us. So 2 weeks is not eternity. For God's sake, 2 weeks is not eternity. This is a common agreement, a common position that both sides have, agreed to. And we are looking forward to getting something reasonable out of it. And, that is my position.
Ezekiel. The Nigerian seems to have been thoroughly emasculated. His minimum wage is 18,000 naira. In the course of this year, electricity tariff went up. Resulting from this hike in pump price of fuel, almost everything has gone up in price by 100%.
At least.
So how is the Nigerian supposed to live?
Okay.
How?
Let me hit this as fast as possible. In life, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. When you lose, you don't take transferred aggression a little too far. And secondly, when you are in a public forum and you are a public figure, you must be very careful the things you say and how you say the things you say. First, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria makes it impossible for you to have a party that is sectional for young people, for old people, for women, for men, for Christians, for Muslims, ethnic. You can't. Every party at a certain position, you should know, must be for every Nigerian.
Yours is young?
Young Democratic Party is not Young People's Party, is not Youth Party, okay? And again, you don't get petty with comment in public. You must be careful to, go by the protocols of your office.
Is that how the Nigerian is going to survive in the circumstances?
No, it's important. Impunity comes from that. Now, when you come to what we've done, is the fact that we really don't give recognition to the Nigerian person. So we can do anything we want to do. You can say anything we want to say. When you come to what has happened, I was expecting we'd get into a little more intellectual discourse on what's going on. Number one, the price of petrol at 145 is an increase in Lagos. It's an increase in Abuja. It's an increase in some other places. It's a decrease in some places. I bought fuel for 250 naira in Uyo. I bought. So coming down to 145 is like, wow, it's a decrease, so to speak. Comrade Aremu, with all due respect to him, I think that he's probably just not in a very good mood today. He's a man I respect very much. He made a point that makes sense. Coca-Cola is sold for the same price in Lagos, in Kano, in my village. The dynamics of distribution has been taken up effectively and efficiently, and as a result, we don't have any modulations and things like that. That's done by a company. If a company can do that to a product,
so
a government can do same for a product. So it is up for government to look at the dynamics of being able to get this product everywhere at the same price. And who is government? Government is labor. That's what I tried to bring out. And I don't know what I've said that is anachronistic. I know that. I can't remember when last we all traveled, that in Britain or in US or even Afghanistan, that people poured on the street, called out by labor for a strike. I really don't know how my ideas are anachronistic. I think archaic. Yes. No, I think that my comrade friend should think again.
Okay.
But coming back to what you just said, I believe that number one.
You've only got 1 minute now.
Yeah. I wish I didn't have to come this long to sit down and be listening to other people from other places. But it's okay. Let me take my 1 minute very well. I believe that number one, Ministry of Science and Technology should please look into the issue of these illegal refineries and see if Nigeria can give the world a new technology by looking into those illegal refineries who have to
ensuring the quality,
who have to break our pipelines to get their product, who have not heard of cars that are breaking down in Warri or in Port Harcourt or in Uyo or the riverine areas. I know that if we change our mentality as government and looked at those crude methods, those are bad-made, that we used to call Taiwan, and Taiwan now is on top of the map. If they can look at those technologies and fund research and refine them,
we will have our own modular refineries that can come on stream a little faster and then we'll be able to even sell this product to them, make more money. We don't lose money by vandalism. We don't lose our ecosystem by vandalism. If we learn to sit back and be more cerebral in governance, which brings back a responsibility on parties. How do you set up the leadership recruitment process? How can you have parties that are more cerebral than share money? How can we start to think differently as a country, as a people? If we go in that direction, which is the direction of the Young Democratic Party, I think Nigeria will be heading for a new dispensation.
We got to go now, so I need to take your last word. And I want to start with Comrade Issa Aremu in Abuja. Your last word on this, please. In one sentence. Thank you.
Yeah, first, I hope you are hearing me.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I think first let me thank Ezekiel for the clarification he has made. I mean, actually don't forget I'm not in the studio with you there, so, but I'm happy that I'm educated that we're having Young Democratic Party, and it's also a very good friend of mine. If I'm looking at him, you know that he labors more than we, the laboring people. I mean, he's agonizing about Nigeria. I think we're all united on the need for better Nigeria, so I don't think we should be distracted. But the summary of all I want to say is that without resistance, and labor reaction to this increase, we would not be having this kind of conversation to look at the modular refineries, the need to encourage domestic refinery, guarantee adequate supply. So to that extent, labor reaction has been extremely very effective. And my friend Sessan, who is eager to talk of the agreement, with God, he also knows that without that strike notice given by Nigeria Labour Congress, which all of us belong to, there won't be forum even for anybody to meet with him.
Thank you, Mr. Aremu. Thank you very much. Comrade Esson, your final word in one sentence, please.
Thank you very much. What I will say is the unfolding scenarios ever since all this trouble, SARS, has actually brought to focus the need for the labor to come together and do business as one single body.
Okay.
Aside that, the government equally has learned a lesson that you can't just do some things and get away with it. So on that note, I would rather be advising the government, anything that concerns the generality of Nigerians, that concerns their welfare, it is very, very important for the government to go into doing all-inclusive, all across board consultation with all the stakeholders.
Thank you.
I think it's most kind of Comrade Arami to pass those comments, and I actually feel humbled, and I want to say you're a great man. I thank you so much. Secondly, I want to call on government to please, for whatever it's worth, call the two sides. I can see the other side, they are willing for to dialogue. Let government call the two of them to the table and let bygone be bygone, the generality of the good of the people.
Thank you very much. We have been chatting with Comrade Issa Aremu, who joined us from our studios in Lagos.
In Abuja.
In Abuja, I'm sorry. Of course, I am in Lagos. And Comrade Aremu is NLC NEC member. And we had Comrade Segun Esson, who's General Secretary, Nigeria Union of Railway Workers, with us in the studio. Thank you very much for coming, as well as Comrade Ezekiel Etok of the Young Democratic Party. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for coming to share your insights with us. Sunrise will return in just a moment with another interesting conversation. Make sure you're part of it.